Alright, so here's kind of a close-up view on these. So this plate right here I bought from Home Depot. They're about $20 a piece, and then these are 2x8 by 8 foot pressure treated pieces of wood. It says in the kit that it's they'll hold 700 pounds a piece. I guess I have no reason to disbelieve that. Fortunately, I mean, my four-wheeler only weighs about 500 pounds, so it's not something I'd ever worry about. So what I did to kind of modify these better than what they were was this. It's got a clip that clips in to the top where the bed actually clips into it. And this does a few different things. One, really more than anything, when you're going to back off or when you're pulling up on, especially if you have to drive over the humps, which fortunately I don't have to do with this four-wheeler, these tend to want to kick out. And if it goes as far as it can go, they won't kick out. That's basically the principle of the chain. I mean, it does have some adjustment. I actually can adjust this tighter, but it works out fine for me. It keeps them in place from going side to side. When I put them on the truck, when they're in position, I know exactly that there's no way for me to mess up driving up. Mine fits in as tight as it possibly could. And yeah, and basically all I did is I just put a longer bolt on, a washer, and 2 nuts that tightened, and a little bit of Loctite. And yeah, so far they've worked really well. I don't load and unload this four-wheeler off this truck a lot more, or very often. And the reality is yes, this four-wheeler is worth probably about 3 times as much as this truck. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit much, but anyway, so I'm going to show you kind of how it also works to do one other thing. So hold on one second. All right, so after I built these, and a guy at my shop had recommended this, and so when I did it, it worked, you know, fine for what it was. But then I realized after I got it on, and I don't know if this is true for all applications, but it certainly worked for mine, and you could always make the chain bigger and smaller if you needed to adjust it. But this keeps it from, when I'm going down the road, I don't have to worry about these things coming out. They're not going anywhere, and yeah, so it's a nice little added feature to this. And they were this, compared to, you know, a $200 ramp and everything else, and when as you saw it sitting on the truck, these do stick out, but as you can see, as far as traveling with it, who cares? I mean, for me, I have to have the bed of my truck down just because of the size of my truck. So for me, having the bed open and having these stick out is absolutely not a problem for me, but I could see where it might be a concern for somebody else. But what I do gain in these being this length is the angle of my platform driving up is much better than you know, $200-300 set of aluminum ones that have, you know, a much shorter angle but will fit in the bed of the truck. So for me, the trade-off is just fine. These also, with the pressure treated wood, the $20 thing, the chain, the extra bolt, I mean, you're looking right under $50. I'm sure that will depend on your Home Depot and really the cost of the pressure treated wood. But so far it works good for me. The only other thing I might do is I might put expanded metal on the other side for traction. I looked at some of the grip tape stuff and all that, and it just seemed hokey. It was really expensive too for what I would need it to do. So, but yeah, I might put expanded metal on it later on. If I have any problems with it, I'll know when I go to load this thing when it's snowy maybe. But I've loaded it covered with mud and it went up just fine. So yeah, there's my 2 cents on loading ramps for a four-wheeler. I'm sure a lawnmower and all that would work fine, especially with the lower angle and the ease of coming over the top. But yeah, to me, when it came time to build ramps or buy ramps, you know, $100 for crappy steel ones that weighed a ton, or, you know, $200 for good aluminum ones, or, you know, $50 for this. I think this is just fine, and I think over time, even if this wood was to wear out, I don't think any of this will wear out. I also got decent hardware. You can get cheaper hardware. You could probably do this for $40 if you wanted to. And the pressure treated, you might, you know, if you go cheaper on that, I mean, all in all, you could probably do this for $30 if you wanted to be cheap about it. But anyways, there you go. Thanks for watching.